If you are finding that your body can no longer tolerate certain things, there's a very good chance that you may already be moving into a brand new timeline known as the fifth dimension, the new earth. Per the late Dolores Cannon, who studied so much about this beautiful, beautiful timeline that we're moving toward. There are things in your life, people, places, and things that are not going to agree with you anymore. And you're going to know what these things are by really listening to how something makes you feel, how your body feels, what kind of emotions come up. Do you feel exhausted after doing something that maybe you always enjoyed? Things like that. Well, I'm going to give you 6 really common things that you're probably going to be able to relate to that would be signs that you are pretty much shifting frequency and moving into that fifth dimensional living now. And so the first thing is going to be gossip frequency. And what I mean by this is conversation and people talking about things that would be low vibrational subjects. This may be talking about people, talking about negative things, negative situations in the past, present, or future, but just talking about those things that just literally make you feel like your energy is being just siphoned from you. And when you're in the presence of this lower frequency, this gossip frequency, it makes you want to run away. It's like, maybe in your earlier years, you could handle it just fine and it wasn't a big deal. But now it is a big deal and you're really noticing a difference. This is really a huge sign that a lot of people are talking about right now. So the second sign that I have for you is phone frequency. And I'm talking about our cell phones right now. What I have noticed that if I am doing too much time, screen time on my cell phone in particular, that I notice a really dysregulated feeling, unbalanced, a lot of pressure in my head, and it may have to do with screen size, the blue lighting, whatever it is, that's coming through the phone and the way that we have to focus. Limiting time with your phone will do wonders for you if you are experiencing any of this when it comes to your phone. I can certainly relate to this. They are so incredibly addictive. And again, there are many things that I love to read and research about, but I have found that I do far better if I will limit my screen time on the phone and either get an actual book. I've even started reading physical books again, the paper books, and not so much something where I'm looking at a screen. It really helps the overstimulation and the pressure in my head. So pay attention to how you feel if you've been using your phone for a long time, or you find that maybe that's something that you've done most of the day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling with your physical self and your emotional self? So number 3 on the signs that you may be already in fifth dimensional frequency, the third thing is toxic environments. And what I mean by this is these could be places that you've gone all of your life and it's not been a problem. This could be even a person's home, that is no longer aligned with who you've become and all of the changes that you've gone through. And it's like your body will begin to reject these places and you will start to feel very uncomfortable. And you will experience anxiety, fight or flight. I mean, I've had people even report things like nausea and just really feeling these bodily functions, and they have to get out, So environment environments that are not aligned with where you are now and where you are going to fall away. They're naturally going to fall away. They have to fall away. So the fourth thing, now this is a really important one right here, a draining career situation. Many times we are in careers that we really are not passionate about, or we may not love what we do anymore. It may be that the people that we work with don't necessarily mesh anymore. But when you are going to a job every day that is pulling your energy down, pulling your joy down, and just taking from you, some type of change will have to be made. And I assure you that if you don't have the courage at some point to make this change yourself, the universe, God, is going to throw something else in your path so that you're able to do this. Because being happy with where you go every day and what you do is so, so important to the soul and to the peace and fulfillment, of your soul. So the next thing that I have for you on the list, foods or substances that are no longer working for you. It may be that you've eaten bananas all of your life. This is just one example. And all of a sudden now, not only do you not want them anymore, but when you do eat one, it doesn't feel right in your body. Pay attention to your body. Your body is your God self speaking to you about all of these things I'm talking about. So when your body starts to reject a food or a substance, another thing, for example, would be wine. I've had a lot of people talk about how they used to really enjoy drinking a glass of wine, really enjoyed the wine itself, how it made them feel, the whole experience. And then suddenly it was like their body just didn't resonate anymore with it. And that's what happens as our frequencies rise and our frequencies change. There are things that are no longer going to mesh any longer, and these things naturally filter away, naturally fall away, and they're meant to. And it can kind of even seem strange when these things are happening, but it's part of this purging process, getting you ready for this, really high dimensional living. And so the sixth and final thing that I wanted to mention on this list today, unbalanced relationships. And these can be friendships, these can be lovers, this can be a marriage, this can be family, this can be so many different types of relationships that once were okay. The exchange seemed okay. But what happens is if you find that you are constantly giving to a particular relationship and not receiving back, you're going to start feeling this very drained feeling, this very used feeling, this very wasted time feeling. Shallow conversations may not be something that resonate with you anymore. And so even if it's a family member that you love, you might find yourself spending less and less time with that person because the process is working and separating you from these denser energies. And it's okay. It's all part of the process. All of these things can be done in a loving way. But if something needs to go, we should do our best to let it go because we're going for the best feelings and vibrations that we can possibly have. That's what we're moving toward. So let me conclude by just talking about this new earth and this new frequency and this new way of living. There's going to be so much more joy and so much more euphoria and so much more love. Just love in every aspect Love is the most powerful force on this planet. Don't forget that. And love trumps everything else. So just imagine the most peaceful place that you can think of, with no conflict, with no dense energies, no disagreements, to where things just flow in a much better way and things seem very beautiful to you. Things don't drain you. You feel aligned. You feel one with the universe. You feel one with this place. So these are some of the most common signs that people are reporting right now of things that are falling away as their soul really steps into that higher fifth dimensional living. And so let me know in the comments if you are experiencing any of these. Please let me know. I always enjoy hearing about these, and I will answer any questions that you may have too. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to catch you on that next video.